Hello, everybody, and welcome to Don't Get Lost in the Hype, Episode 8. As you can see, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, that I am at the New State Theater, and I can't wait to do more interviews here. It's a really awesome setup. I can't wait till the theater's actually open. Please go to newstatemke.org/donate because we would really like to get this project moving. Anyways, thank you for listening to Don't Get Lost in the Hype. I believe in this episode I made a few mistakes. I did say, I think I said it was episode 9. That is not true. This is episode 8. So welcome to episode 8, episode 9. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Getting lost in my own hype. But you know what? That's the journey. Also with this interview, I am talking with Mr. Space Cowboy of the Fat Nerds. He is a artist who has a lot of energy in his music and is someone that I would like to get to know more about with this interview. I felt like we didn't get to connect as much, but I feel like it was because of the new setup and we were just trying to get through everything. But definitely check him out. Check out his new project that's coming out. And thank you once again for listening. This is Don't Get Lost in the Hype, episode 8. All right, everybody, welcome to Don't Get Lost in the Hype, episode 9, and today's a very special episode because as you can see, not only do we have visuals, but we have the glorious New State Theater, which we still need donations on, so please go to newstatemke.org/donate. Episode 9, I have a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself to the camera?
Yeah, I'm a Space Cowboy from Fat Nerds.
Yes, sir. I'm very happy to have you. Thank you, Niall, for setting this up. So, why don't we go ahead and just jump right into the project because Niall actually sent me a little bit of it and I was fucking with it hard.
Thank you.
It was I'm a big fan of the psychedelic kind of production and the trippiness of it and just like the energy you have. So, why don't you kind of dive into like what inspired you with this project? When did it first start and kind of just the journey of it?
Well, it was like maybe around like last year sometime, but like it took me a while to get finished with it because I wanted to like make sure everything was right, and then I was going through a lot of life situations, so that kind of inspired it along the way. Other than that, it's just music. It's just what I felt.
Definitely. So what would you say with this project specifically is going to, like, what's your vision with it? Like, what do you want to do with this project? Like,
it's basically just to start, see where I can like fit into like rap.
Definitely.
And like find where my footing gonna be, I guess.
Definitely.
Figure out what I'm gonna do next.
Definitely.
Basically.
So I was like I said, I was listening to it this morning. I was listening to it last night. Really fuck with the production. I really fuck with like the energy of it. I think you've definitely got a lot of charisma. Definitely got a lot of like voice and heart with that. And I think you know exactly what you're doing. So if you don't mind, like, I kind of want to get into a little bit about like your upbringing and kind of childhood and stuff. We don't have to go too deep about it, but like at what point in your life, name a pivotal point in your life where you decided I'm going to start just doing like the arts or music or things of that nature.
Like when I was younger, maybe around like second grade, I was always into like art. I was like drawing. I used to do like anime characters. Niall, he was there with me doing like a couple of anime characters, like, and when I was in like maybe 7th grade, so he knew about that a little bit. Other than that, I started doing music when I was like maybe 7. My mom used to make like raps for us because I had 3 other brothers and we all used to just rap. So
that's dope. Yeah. So your mom was into rap then, or was like
she was into like R&B and rap.
Okay.
So she used to go to like Chicago and stuff like that to like record with her friends and shit like that. So we've always been music family.
I definitely feel that. I feel like can I ask you this? Did you go to church growing up?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you get any influence from that? Because I know a lot of people, including myself, who grew up in the church, like there's the church band, the choir, things like that. And yeah.
Yeah. I was more inspired by like the story of Moses.
Okay.
And shit like that. So.
Okay. So explain that a little bit.
I can't really remember.
Right. Right.
I just remember like my grandma used to tell me like I used to just like be into Moses. Like whenever she used to like bring up the Bible, I used to always bring up the book of Moses. And then like I had this little ark the little toy arc and shit like that. So
Definitely.
Oh, wait, no, not the arc, but the little separating thing, the seat thing.
Oh yeah. The parting of the Red Sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you consider yourself now to be a spiritual person?
Yeah.
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 Is there any specific moment in your life where, how do I ask this? Like I've had a few moments in my life where, like I went through the whole phase of growing up in like a Christian household, kind of falling away from that, and then still coming amongst these mystical experiences that still seem to like restore my faith into something higher than myself. So like, I guess I kind of want to talk about like, what's your connection with that? Like, this is I guess you could say a spiritual podcast. We talk about kind of the deeper things and stuff like that. So what in your life has shown you that there is some sort of like higher power?
Basically just life in general. It's always going to be somebody higher up than you that can put themselves in a position that you want to be in, but you can't like be in because of like the situations that you're going through, I guess. So I know it's a higher power out there. I just don't know what it is.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. So this podcast is called Don't Get Lost in the Hype, but within that context of that title, it almost sounds like hype is almost like a negative thing. But I've talked to a few people and they would say it's more of a positive thing. Yeah. So for you, what is the word hype and what does it mean to you?
It's more of a positive thing. It's like more energy.
So you like hype, like jumping around, like that's hype. Like, you know, there's hype music, basically. There's stuff like that. Yeah. I definitely feel that. I think that hype can be used in both ways, in my personal opinion. I like, you know, like we were talking about, hype music, hype, everything. But then there's also hype, like, oh, that's just a bunch of hype. Like, you know, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So within that context, if we are talking about hype in a negative thing, there's all this chaos, commotion, hype, things going on. How do you personally stay grounded amongst it all?
Just being myself. I can't really do anything else, but gotta.
And what does being yourself include?
Just like not giving in to like social norms, maybe, because sometimes I'm not like what my friends would say normal. I do a lot of dumb shit from time to time, but everybody does dumb shit.
That's the human condition. I mean, like. I think doing the dumb shit is basically like, that's just, it's our learning experience. It's what we're supposed to go through. Like, not, you know, obviously you don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to like do whatever, but you know, we would be nothing if it weren't for the pitfalls of humanity. We wouldn't be nothing without the struggles and stuff like that. So, I guess like playing off of that too, within this, the music thing, especially with COVID going on, there's a lot of shit happening. We can't really do live shows. Can't really like do this and that, but there still seems to be a passion and a drive for people to release and create content. So like, where do you see your future in music, especially with like the pandemic going on and stuff?
No lie, I see it actually growing, maybe being bigger than just being in Milwaukee. Maybe I want it to be like reach everybody.
Yes, sir.
If I can, I know I can. I'm just gonna put my foot on the gas and go.
Definitely. So, do you think that life is going to be like? Obviously it's not going to be the same, but like, do you think we're going to go back to like live shows how it was?
Yeah, eventually.
I
can feel it.
I think people there reaches a point where we're going to just kind of get sick of everything, and whether we get a vaccine or what, but people are eventually going to start just throwing shows anyways. So, I mean, we kind of already are, like little things if you wear a mask and things of that nature. But, yeah, I guess, what would you say, I know this is kind of a cliche question, but like, what would you say was your biggest influence, like with music?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's real hard to say with that one, because I was influenced by like a Tribe Called Quest at a point in time.
Fire.
I was influenced by like Nas. There's a lot of rappers, and then like I was influenced by my mom, because she pushed me more to do it now. So because she was like, oh, it's keeping you out of trouble, you keeping your mind on something different, so just keep doing that.
Definitely. So within that, Hold up. Sorry about that. I had a question. Oh, yeah. So within your childhood growing up and stuff like that and getting into music and the arts, was there ever a point in your life where you were like, man, I don't know if I can do this, and then you kind of like push through it? Like,
yeah, you always have your doubts and moments, but like I got my friends, I got people in my group that's like supporting me, pushing me to do better, because they know at the end of the day,
definitely. I think friends are like, it sounds so cliche to say, but friends are very important. Like if you don't have like a backbone, especially some people, they don't necessarily have like a family to fall back on, and then their friends become their family and stuff like that. So like, how do you navigate amongst like your friends and your family without necessarily getting caught up in like staying true to yourself? Like if you're going amongst the world and the world has all this like drama and things going on, like how do you stay, like you were saying earlier, staying true to yourself? Like, but like what, like I just want to know, like what does that fully entail? Like do you meditate? Do you pray? Do you smoke? Do you
I do smoke. I smoke a lot.
Okay.
But I used to meditate. Think I still got a couple amethyst rocks and stuff like that I keep around just for like the energy whenever I need it, because sometimes like I feel like I need like an extra push.
Definitely.
And then like when I'm at peace, I just feel better about myself. I can go about my day better. So.
Of course, it's all about centering yourself and being, but the contradiction, especially with Don't Get Lost in the Hype, and the contradiction with humanity is there are going to be times, no matter how like deep or spiritual we might feel, or how like connected to God we might feel, or whatever. There are times where we will get lost in the hype. We will get caught up in our own dramas and our own bullshit. Like, I can't tell you, there's been times where like, I might like lose my wallet, and then I get caught in the drama of like, I can't find my wallet. I can't do this. I get so like overwhelmed, and then I end up finding it like right where I left it or some shit. And it was not a big deal the whole time. So, I guess I kind of want to ask about those experiences in life where like, you thought maybe it was the end of the world, or like you thought maybe like shit was going down, but then it ended up being a growing experience.
I can't really put my finger on it right now, but it's a couple I can like pull out, but those are a little too personal.
Okay, yeah, no, we won't, we do whatever we feel like is necessary. But so I guess where we go from there is getting more back into the project. I really was fucking with the track. What was it? I gotta find it again. I think it was the one you already released with Nile and Verge. That shit
Scumbag.
Scumbag. Yeah, dude, that shit. Like I was vibing so hard. I'm driving around smoking. I'm like, okay, yeah, I fuck with this.
Good looking.
Yeah. Where did you get? Who does the production? Is it something that you just like? That you do, Nile does, you kind of find all over?
I look all over for it, but specifically I think Nile did the like beat for Scumbag, and then I went to the homie Spice to record.
Oh, bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think production is a big factor in music. I know that's so simple to say, but at the same time, it's like some people, they can have all the raps in the world, all the voice and stuff like that, but if their production is shit, it's just damn.
I had to learn that the hard way.
I feel like a lot of people have, and also like it goes the same way the other way. You can have like the best beats in the world, but it's like if you can't do anything over that beats, then like, well, it is what it is. So I guess we'll go into a little quick game of this or that, and then we'll kind of branch off from there. So I'm actually going to start with artists. I'll try to keep them compared. We'll do ODB or Danny Brown.
ODB.
Classic. Perfect.
Yeah, ODB.
We'll go with Travis Scott or ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky.
I will agree. I love Travis.
But,
but like ASAP,
ASAP definitely got the juice.
Right. I feel like ASAP Rocky was supposed to be. He definitely was reaching a point of like he hit the mainstream and he was very had critical success, but he saw a point where I think he just changed and he wanted to experiment more with his music and stuff like that, which is I fuck with it hard. So let's do Freddie Gibbs or Tupac.
Freddie Gibbs.
Why is that?
Only because I don't really listen to Tupac like that. So I can't really put him over that. I've heard a couple like Freddie Gibbs albums. I can't like say I heard a couple of Tupac's albums because I really haven't listened to Tupac like that. I have like heard maybe his greatest hits album, but that's it.
Yeah, of course. So based on that, let's go, because I'm thinking Freddie Gibbs, he did a bunch of work with Madlib, and Madlib is one of the greatest producers of all time. What would you say some of your favorite producers are?
MF Doom, Tyler, of course. Who else? Pierre Bourne.
Yes, sir.
His new age shit is kind of... Metro Boomin, of course. TM88, and there's a couple other people, but I can't really remember their names off top. I know Wiz Khalifa, producer, he fire.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So what would you say, based on production alone, like do you like more of like the boom bap, the trap? Do you like more of like not necessarily with your type of music, but like with just anything, like the stuff that you like to listen to? Is there a specific lane that you're like you always go to?
It depends on my mood, because sometimes I'll listen to like Detroit rap, and then sometimes I'll listen to like New York's boom bap, like ASAP Rocky type stuff, or then I'll go to like South Memphis or something like that and listen to some like 8-Ball, MJG, some stupid stuff.
Right, right, definitely. Okay, so based on music with your project, sorry, I had a question and it slipped my mind. So with your project, when is it going to be released?
I haven't like stuck out a date yet. Okay. I'm getting the artwork cover finished for it actually, probably tonight.
Definitely.
So it should be sometime like maybe in a couple weeks to a month.
Bet.
Like probably by the end of the year though. It's not gonna be no later than.
Of course. Do you want what do you want people to gather from this project? I know you said this is kind of the one that you're trying to get your footing on. Yeah. But like, what's something that you wish people would like listen to and take from it?
It's not really a message to it so far yet. Not to my knowledge that I understand, but I just want them to like feel the energy maybe and just like vibe with it.
Definitely, and I think that's exactly what I got from it when it was just an all in energy thing. It was something that I could smile to, I could bob my head to, I could like be like, okay, this is cold type shit. Like I fuck with it hard. So I guess with the spiritual aspect, I kind of go back and forth with these, just kind of getting little nuggets of wisdom here and there. What is something that somebody has told you that really stuck with you? I know that's, if you want to think about it for a minute, you can, but
yeah, maybe damn, I can't even remember what he said, but it was something my uncle said. It was like something about like money, just like keeping it in your pocket and like imagining that it's not there and just go about your day.
I feel that. I think money is a tricky thing because it's you need it to survive, and it's like we all kind of know subconsciously that it's money itself is not necessarily real. Like it is, but but
it's just paper.
Right, it is.
It's
like
paper.
And the fact that everybody seems to be in debt, but it's like everybody's in debt to everybody else, and it's like this whole constant cycle of whatever. But at the same time, if it wasn't for money, we wouldn't be doing as much as we are now.
Right.
So how do you grow the money without getting attached to it?
Basically just hustling. Staying out the way, most definitely. Get a job if you got to get a job. Hustle if you got to hustle. Like I ain't gonna like say hustle the wrong things, but you just got to find what you good at and get the money out of it any way you can. You can get money out of anything. YouTube paying people just to record videos. So
I feel as though especially the last few years, people get so attached to the idea of being rich and having money, which I completely understand why. And I think it's something that we're all chasing. We're all trying to, we all want to live comfortable. Nobody wants to like struggle for shit. Nobody wants to like deal with this and that. But like, there's a teacher that I follow named Ram Dass, and he says, well, he actually was talking about Buddhism, and it says like, the cause of suffering is like attachment or like the clinging of mind, like where if you're attached to something, if you're trying to hold something, it's gonna like wiggle free and it's gonna like run away from you. If you try to chase something, it'll run away from you. But if you try to push something away, it'll get closer to you. So like, how do you find that balance, not only with money, but just kind of with anything, but how do you find that balance of like caring enough to go get something, but not caring enough to like watch it run away?
That's a hard question. But, really I really don't chase anything, to be honest. Like, I just let it play out how it's going to play out and see where it goes. But if I do want to chase something, then I just like make sure that it's the right thing to chase, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. I like how you said you just kind of like let it happen. I think that's something that I know personally I've struggled with, and I think a lot of people do struggle with, is letting things happen. Yeah. Even if it's not the thing that you necessarily wanted or expected. This is another question that I've asked about in my other episodes, and I'll ask you too, is I found that there's a huge difference between expectations and goals. And you can have goals and you can reach for something, but if you expect something, it doesn't always play out. So like, what is the difference between expectations and goals for you personally?
Expectations is something like people expecting from me. So like bills need to be paid, like phone bill or something, food need to be put in the house, my child needs something to like wear or play with. That's expectations. And then like the other one, what was it again? Like
expectations and goals.
Goals. All right, goals is something that I want. So at the end of the day, goals is gonna be all about me.
Definitely. So you would associate goals as more of like a self thing, like personal. Yeah. And then expectations are like there's things that you kind of have to do, or like the things that whatever. So you mentioned you have a daughter, is it?
I have a son.
A son. Yeah. I apologize. How has being a dad taught you about life? Like, I know that's kind of a cliche question, but
it's like basically just more responsibility. Is teaching me how to take care of another human. So
definitely. I mean, like, I don't have any kids, but I have friends who've had kids, and they all say it's kind of like,
oh yeah, I love it. It's just a good thing.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Teaching me to grow. Plus, my father wasn't there, so I wanted to like do some stuff, that he wasn't doing.
Of course. I think that's like the ultimate. If people are supposed to be following what they follow, you always, even if you had a great like parents and great like growing up like life, you still want to be better than your parents, regardless.
Most definitely.
Regardless,
Most
because
definitely.
We're supposed to be evolving. We're supposed to be continuing, and then you can only hope that your children are better than you. Like, and that sometimes people get. I think the issue that I've had with older generations and stuff like that is they don't want the younger generation to be better than them. They want to be like, no, we know what's right. Like, you kids are just on TikTok and doing this and that. But so like, how do you what do you want for your son, like growing up? Like, what do you want?
I want a better life for him than I had. So basically, you already hit the nail on the coffin.
So that I feel like it really opens up people's eyes. I have a friend named Tori who he's having his third child now soon, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it's
I only got the one.
But he tells me every time, like, it's just like, it's scary at first, like when you first are like, oh, now I'm having a kid, and then all of a sudden, like, once it happens, it's almost like a psychedelic experience, like where it's like you start to see the bigger picture of like, oh, this is my blood, like this is,
I love my child. Most definitely. It's an eye-opening experience, most definitely.
have you, and we don't have to like talk too much about it if you don't want to, but like, have you had any, because I just briefly mentioned it, have you had any psychedelic experiences?
Nah, I've been trying to like, I've been wanting to try it, but I just don't like know anybody.
Right. It's a timing thing, and it's definitely, it's one of those things, like, not to get too spiritual or woo-woo about it, but it's definitely something that it's like you kind of have to let it come to you. Like, you can always go looking for it. I know for a while I was like searching, I was like, I need to find, you know, this or that, but I would never, like the whole Buddhist thing of like what you chase will run away from you type of thing, like it just wouldn't happen.
Right.
And then eventually it finally did. So it's like, it's just one of those things you kind of have to just let happen. Exactly. So, but I would just relate that to having a child, or even just going through like, I have a dog. It's not the same thing at all, but just the taking care of another life, the constantly making sure they're okay, you know.
Yeah, it basically is the same thing, because I got a dog too, so
little
fucker irritating.
What kind of dog is he?
It's a Shih Tzu.
Okay.
So, a little fucker irritating.
I have a husky blue healer, and he's just
I was always trying to get a husky, but they super expensive to get.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story how I got them, because they are expensive. It was insane. I was living with my ex-girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend at the time, ex now, and her friend had gone down to Chicago to like look at dogs.
Okay.
And then some dude in Chicago like handed this little puppy out through a car window and was like, "Here you go." And so she took him, brought him back home, and was like, "Oh, I can't take care of him. Can you guys watch him for a couple weeks while we foster him?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he was this tiny little, like, fit in my hands. And I looked at him. I'm like, I'm not letting this dude go. Like, this is my dog.
Right.
Like, fuck this shit.
Exactly. I would have did the same thing.
Right. I was like, it's a beautiful. He's got two different colored eyes. Husky blue healer. He's amazing. But
that's dope.
Huskies are very loud and annoying and are always in your shit. And they don't let you sleep at all. But definitely, but what I was relating to that is, spiritually, my dog has taught me so much, like just by being connected with him and taking him on walks, getting me out of my depressive state, getting me out of old patterns that I had to unlearn. And it was very frustrating at first, but I think that relates very much to just responsibility in general. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Do you personally deal with anything along the lines of depression, anxiety, that nature?
Yeah, but I really don't have like an outlet for it, really, besides smoking weed, and that helps for the moment,
right?
So
doesn't necessarily fix the problem,
but that's what I also use music for. So
of course,
I always vent out what I really want to say sometimes in like some of my songs. So.
Definitely. I can't tell you how many times I've been in like a really like bad state of mind, and then just decided to like drive around and just play music, and
right,
and just like that one song hits perfectly, and you're like, yes, like I feel it in my soul, type of shit.
You'll pull over for a little bit and let's like play it on repeat for like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I do that a lot.
I think and not to get too woo woo about it, but it's vibrations. It's, you know, if you think about it, everything is vibrations. This table is made of molecules. This floor is made of molecules. We're all vibrating throughout stuff. So music within itself, it's like, it's almost magic. It's like this seductive thing that just like gets you going. And I think it's very important when people listen to the right types of music. Like I'm a firm believer in, freedom of speech, and I'm a firm believer in like, listen to what you want to listen to, whether it's like aggressive or happy or whatever it is. But I think people don't understand that certain energies will bring certain things out of you, and you have to play to the right moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate through the moods of the changing of times, like within your personal self, not necessarily with music?
I just like try to adapt, if that makes sense.
No, that does make perfect sense.
All right, cool. I'm not really good at like being too extrovert, if that makes sense. So I just try my best to adapt the introvert way.
What does that include?
Like, I don't know. It's depending on the situation, really.
Yeah.
So if it's like, let's say it's somebody else around that I got to get used to or something like that. Like I break up with a girl and then I got to get used to another girl or something like that. It's just basically whatever that entails. I got to change up the way I dress or something, change up the way I think per se or something like that.
I completely understand. I think it's a very much reading the room type of situation. Like you walk into a place and if you have to, it's even as simple. It can be as simple as we walked in here and we're like, oh, it's colder in here than it was outside. I should probably put on a jacket or something like that. To you might, go into a room and you just feel the tension in the air. Some people are arguing or some shit. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like type of thing. It's adapting to the situation. It's being in the moment. It's being present. And I guess with that, how do you stay present?
Ooh. Just try to keep up with the times. I keep up with the times. So really, that's all I can say.
No, I feel that. I think it's a very, I think it's just something a lot of people lack, is they don't necessarily stay as present as they should, and it's something that I deal with. I get caught up in like something that Cam Sky said. I think it was Cam. Yeah, we were talking about it, and he said, if you're constantly looking to the future, you're gonna miss out what's happening right now.
True.
But if you're constantly looking to the past, then you're not going anywhere, and you're gonna kind of keep trying to run back to the past.
Right.
So it's like finding that middle lane of just being here now and just being present with the moment. But that also goes with the whole goals and expectations things, because last year before COVID hit, I had a lot of expectations of like what we were going to do with the new state. We were going to have all these shows. We were planning events. We were doing this. I expected I was going to go to Bonnaroo, and I expected I was going to go see these bands and these artists and Denzel Curry and all this shit. And it just didn't work out. COVID hit, everything shut down, everything kind of went haywire. And I'm not necessarily saying it was wrong of me to like be excited about those things, but I got my expectations up. I was excited to go do this and that and this and that, and then when it didn't happen, I was like, damn it, fuck. So I guess my whole thing is just trying to find the center and not get lost in the hype of my own dramas in my own mind and other things. And I think that's what this podcast is. It's more of like almost like a therapy session for me, because I get to talk with like-minded people and people who have different outside perspectives of that nature. So I guess I just kind of want to ask more about like, I know you said I feel like you personally, just from talking to you now, you're not taking it too seriously, which is a good thing, because I think you're just like letting life happen, and you're not like, like whatever happens kind of thing. Like I'm gonna smoke if I want to smoke. I'm gonna listen to music if I want to listen to music. Yeah. Take care of my kid, do stuff. And I think that's something that people lack, is like I'm complimenting you by saying you seem to know like it is what it is, just kind of thing. Like, and I think that's something that I really commend and I appreciate, because it's something that I don't necessarily see a lot in a lot of people. Yeah. So I guess, how do you deal with not enemies, but people who don't necessarily like you? Like how do you deal with that situation?
I just let them be. Yeah. They gonna do what they want to do from outside the room, if that makes sense. They looking through a glass or whatever.
Definitely.
So
no, because I think that's one thing is once again, people get caught up in the hype of what other people think about them. Yeah. And people get like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with him? Like, what do I got to like? Right. I'm gonna deal with this shit. No, but yeah, I think that's exactly it. And we'll go back towards music and the project, because I did want to ask you, do you plan on shooting any visuals for this project?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like a visual will push more audience into the stream or whatever.
Oh, definitely. I think visuals are very important, especially there have been times I've listened to a song and been like, yeah, it's a good song, I like it, and then I'll like watch the music video, I'll be like, oh, this is fucking fire.
Dope.
Like,
yeah.
you know, I think it definitely can influence people. And what would you say your biggest visual influences are? Like, what is the aesthetic that you typically like?
Trippie Redd got some dope visuals for like some of his just like visualizers for just like his not even music videos, but just like the audio music videos or whatever. But like people who make videos wise, who inspire me to like want to like just get visuals made anyway, is like Cole Bennett videos.
Cole Bennett, yeah,
his videos dope.
his story, his journey is crazy. The fact that it's like a couple hours from here, like just like that shit, like it always trips me out when I see people. Like the fact that I just turned 26 recently, and I'm starting to feel like, oh no, I'm getting kind of old. Even though I still feel young, like I still feel like I'm a kid at a lot of times. I'll look at some people, they're like blowing up at 15. So, do you know what's his name? Red Veil? Have you heard of Red Veil?
I don't think so.
Okay, he's like this kid. He's literally 15 years old. He's got like an Earl Sweatshirt kind of vibe, but kind of like the more lo-fi lyrical like type stuff. But his tape, like some like hip hop Twitter account found his tape on SoundCloud and just shared it, and now he's getting attention from like all these different people, and I'm just like, damn, 15. Like when I was 15, I was so lost. Like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So it's like, I feel like things are just getting more and more, time speeding up, people are getting younger, kids are getting smarter,
basically.
Like it's insane. So I don't know, that's just my personal viewpoint and opinion.
I feel I feel the same way. I feel like they just prioritize the wrong things at this time. The younger generation at this time, because like at this around like 15, I wasn't thinking about like rapping and clothes like that. I was thinking about like getting out of school because my mom was on my ass about school and stuff like that. So
of course, I
don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's a weird time. It's a weird time because there are kids, they're literally like 13, 14, 15-year-old kids that are just making this and doing that. And it's just like, slow down. Like you want to be a kid, experience being a kid for a little bit. I don't know.
But if you could always still do the music thing.
Of course.
They got 15-year-olds, and Bow Wow was always a rapper. So. Of
course. But this has been fun. I think we're going to wrap it up a little bit. Do you mind if we talk? You said you don't have a title for the project yet, right?
Yeah, I actually do.
Okay.
I'm sticking with Spaced Out. So Spaced Out coming soon.
Spaced Out and coming soon. You got the. You said you're working on the album artwork and stuff like that coming out. I genuinely appreciate talking to you, and we can always come back and do this again, get a little bit once the project's out, and then
most definitely. So
appreciate everybody. Welcome. This has been Don't Get Lost in the Hype. This is the new state. This is Mr. Space Cowboy of the Fat Nerds.
Yep.
Peace out.
See you.